Wow, okay. This episode of Attack on Titan was absolutely phenomenal. There's not many words that I can say other than next episode is going to be massive. At the end, when they tease that Zeke is going to scream, oh boy. I'm extremely hyped for this next upcoming episode, but this episode was absolutely phenomenal. We're going to talk all about Mikasa. We're going to talk all about Gabi and her realization, which is a pretty huge plot point. This is one of the biggest moments in Attack on Titan, at least in my opinion, and it almost went by without a flash, but I'll break down why that is in this video and an upcoming video coming out next week. But without that out of the way, let's go ahead and just jump right into the video. I want to talk about this episode, damn it. The episode starts off with Mikasa, and this is a really cool scene in my opinion because Mikasa starts off, she's not really sure if she wants to help Eren or not because she's not sure if the reason she's wanting to help Eren is actually just, and this is amazing because right here at this moment is when they realize Eren Yeager is not for sure brainwashed. Armin is sure that he said all of that to fool him because, I mean, if you think about it, Eren knew of Mikasa's headaches as a little kid. And at the same time, it's also up to Eren what he wants to do with the Founding Titan's power. So you gotta suspect here, much like Armin did, that the reason he agreed to this euthanasia plan in the first place is most likely because, well, he has the final say in all this. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what Yelena or Zeke do, what their actual plans are. All Eren has to do is fool them into believing that he's on their side and that he can do what they want. That being said, is that true? I don't know. As we've seen, Eren has already killed tons of people, so whatever plan he has going on, and Reiner even says it in this episode, he doesn't know why Eren is fighting so hard for this. I mean, this has to be one of the just biggest plans that we don't know about yet. I mean, I think in my theory, what I had in the last season was that Eren Yeager would swallow all the Titans and like lock himself away or something like that. But since we know with the power of the Founding Titan and the euthanasia plan, it doesn't make sense for Eren to want to go through with that plan. I don't know what's going on when it comes to that, but as well, I don't really know what other plan Eren could have in place that would be bigger or better than the euthanasia plan. Who knows? Put your theories down in the comments below what you think Eren's plan is, because I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. That being said though, we do gotta mention the Reiner and Eren fight because this is something that's been happening since the last episode and it was incredible. We are far from finishing this fight from what it seems like, but now since, you know, Reiner is impeded by Zeke in this fight, it makes it a little bit more interesting. But before that happens, I mean, Reiner gives this dialogue how everyone has suffered enough and it's time for Eren to finally stop fighting. And I love this quote. He just tells Eren while he's trying to go to bite his nape to just sleep. And as he says that, Eren puts his hand in the top of Reiner's Armored Titan's skull and tries to essentially just rip off the top of the Armored Titan's head in one of the coolest scenes. It seemed like at that moment, Eren was like, no, I'm fighting for something. I can't give up now. So it's time to just go at it. Use every single bit of strength that I have to get out of this position I'm in. And sure enough, it actually works with as well Zeke, because Zeke arrives and just absolutely levels the playing field. If you had doubts before this that Zeke was not somehow this unkillable badass, this scene right here in this episode pretty much proves that Zeke, he is, you know, leveling the playing field, and that is what Zeke does best. It's what we've seen multiple times throughout this series. He is probably one of the most formidable, one of the most dangerous Titans out there. Even though throughout the series he's constantly one-upped by Levi, you gotta understand, that's an Ackerman. That's Levi. That's different from literally everybody else who seems to have tons of trouble and issues with Zeke and the Beast Titan. Though I will say it is rather interesting because at the end of this episode, of course, we see Magath shoot Zeke. It is interesting. I think the story they're trying to tell here is that technology outdoes the Beast Titan. If you think about it, you know, technology, when technology was invented and stuff like that, I think back to the 2001: A Space Odyssey, that beginning scene where they discover technology, they discover bludgeoning objects, right? It's like one of those references where it's like the Beast Titan is just always outdone by more and more technology. So I thought that's pretty cool. But for the most part, it seems like, you know, Titan-wise, he is probably one of the strongest, most formidable Titans outside of most likely the Colossal Titan. And we even see more of this as well. I mean, Zeke is just, he's so good. He blasts the Zeppelins away, blows that shit up, and almost gets peak. And it's actually, they actually have to have a infantry go and use the pincer formation on the Cart Titan, which I think is also like a pretty cool thing where the Cart Titan is most like formidable against all types of infantry, really, but as well Titans, of course, as we see at the end of this episode, but as well, its weakness is pretty much Titans and infantry. That's really cool to me because what that says is there's this dynamic with the Cart Titan where, yes, it is weaker, it's smaller, but you can put stuff on this thing like a anti-Titan weapon, or you can use its speed advantage and maneuverability to get around quickly with something like an anti-Titan weapon on it to deal with infantry pretty easily, or Titans themselves, which is, you know, super important in Attack on Titan because you want to have that support role, that Cart Titan, that can seal the deal right there. That can basically ensure you win a fight in Attack on Titan. Gabi then says she wants to go with Colt to rescue Falco, and I have written down in my notes here, she's growing up. She's so adorable. I love how she finally realizes that she is the reason why Falco has been put through this, and she wants to be the one to protect Falco this time because Falco has been protecting her this whole time, which is really cool, I think, because right after this scene, we juxtapose it with Falco with a soldier from Eldia or Paradis or whatever. Falco realizes, you know, that Marley wouldn't willingly come to save an Eldian, talks to this guy, I forget his name. He's a pretty cool dude, especially what he does in this episode when he brings Falco back to Colt and Gabi. We'll talk about that in a second, but I like him because he has this whole kind of character thing where he wants to see his little girls again. He wants to see his family again. I just thought that was really wholesome, really cool of him to do. They also, the Survey Corps, what's left of them, reunite with Shadis, who says he fought a bear, and he looks like it. I'm really glad they adapted that piece of dialogue from the manga. It's really nice to see that. But they reunite with Pixis, which is really cool. Then Mikasa, we see a scene with her where she leaves behind her scarf. That's pretty important because it shows that I think Mikasa is not doing it for Aaron's sake, is doing it for Aaron's sake, right? I mean, that's the point of it, but like in terms of her internal emotions and stuff like that, she's free of, well, which keyword there, free, you know, Aaron loves that word, so I'm sure that Aaron would adore Mikasa in this moment if, you know, he actually saw it happen because she's doing what she wants out of her own free will. And that's the way I saw this scene. Put down in the comments below how you interpreted this scene, but this is a huge moment. Mikasa finally lets her neck breathe for a little while, and it's really interesting because her neck really sticks out because you only see her in a scarf the whole series. So when you actually see her neck, you're like, oh, she has one of those. Okay. And then as well, we see the scene where Yelena is taking in all the chaos and destruction. Reminds me of a Zeppelin crashing in that Battlefield 1 map from way back when. Oh, miss Battlefield 1. But yeah, Yelena is seriously delusional. She thinks that this is the moment, you know, of the moments right here that is going to make history. And to be fair, yeah, it is. But she's still crazy, right? She even tells all the Survey Corps members that Zeke defeated Hanj and Levi, which I'm not too sure about that one. They ducked into a river. I think they're gonna have to go back and check that one out. But yeah, Armin suggests that they even join the Jaegerists, and this prompts, oh man, Yelena's absolutely phenomenal crazy face. What was that? That was such good animation on Mappa's part. So good, so crazy. Yelena is freaky, dude. She's freaky deaky, man. But this scene is important because it shows that, yeah, Yelena literally knows what's going on. Yelena understands that Armin is saying that to fool them, at least in my opinion. But the situation here is that they have to help them no matter what. Either way, the Jaegerists and the Survey Corps are on the side of Eren at this point because they have no other option. Even though I do think it's funny how Connie or John, I forget which one it is, but in the comments below, I forget, he says, it looks like Reiner needs our help. That was a good scene. So Gabi and Colt have to hide. Gabi points out this PTRS-41 looking weapon. Apparently it's an anti-Titan weapon, which is really fascinating to see that. I think it's pretty cool that they have like World War II weapons here that are pretty much World War II weapons. I mean, they look like a PTRS, I think, in my opinion. Gabi calls it a pipe, which I think is even funnier. But they actually see the soldiers that were coming by from earlier that was, you know, talking with Falco in the episode. They walk by and they see Colt and Gabi, or at least they see the enemy at the very least. So the dude that was talking to Falco earlier brings him over to just turn him back, let him go home. And I think it's really interesting here because Colt is ready to pull out a weapon on them and ready to engage, but Gabi stops them from fighting. Even, and to the soldier's credit as well, he lets Falco go. And Colt says, Gabi, why did you trust the enemy? This leads into the scene where they hide in a home and the Browse family pass by. And the first thing that Gabi hears is words of reassurance, which brings a tear to Gabi's eye to go, oh my God, they still, you know, love me and stuff. This is amazing. I didn't know people could care for me in this way. And then here's Kaya wishing death upon her, and that literally, it's like she was on the high of highs right there. She got Falco back, and then she was, you know, reassured by her, you know, in a way, you know, her Paradis family. And then because she goes from those high of highs to these low of lows, because Kaya, you know, wishes death upon her, she has this moment where she realizes at this breaking point, at the lowest she could possibly ever be, there aren't any devils. Good job, Gabi. Proud of you. You finally realized it. All those people that were saying Gabi is a trash character, this right here proves that Gabi is not a trash character, even though they will continue to say Gabi is a trash character because she was written, literally written to kill a character. Doesn't exist. Anyways. Yeah, she realizes that what they've been doing this whole time pretty much has been creating a circle, a pattern, a circle of revenge and war that never ends, this circle of hate. To be fair, Falco as well admits his faults about what he did, you know, sending out the letters and all that, but as well, he even confesses his love to Gabi, which, you know, did it for Gabi, do it for Falco. You know, Falco, to be fair, it is hard to confess your love for people. So, and especially in a situation like this, he's already going through a hard, troubling time. He is contaminated, which he pretty much reveals to them after Falco is like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you to make you as happy as you can, Gabi. Gabi then, you know, rips off the armband that, you know, determined he is contaminated, which I think was one of the most important. I mean, this whole moment right here is one of the most important moments in AOT from a written perspective. I will consistently reference this throughout the series, pretty much. And really, this already is one of the most important, probably the most important moment in AOT in terms of just, you know, in terms of its writing, in my opinion, in terms of its message. Great scene. We're going to have a video out on this Tuesday or Wednesday, I hope. Probably Tuesday is when the video is going to be coming out, talking all about this and why this scene is probably one of the most important scenes in Attack on Titan, if not the most important scene. Then the last scene, Eren is just lumbering towards Zeke. There's a peak fake out by Peak. You get it? Peak fake out? I'll leave now. I'll leave in a second, actually. But yeah, Peak does a cool fake out. Magath then uses this distraction, this fake out, to aim the cannon at Zeke and hit Zeke in the shoulder. And at the very end, it's revealed, oh, Zeke is about to scream, and you see Falco running. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen to all the contaminated soldiers we were just with? What is he going to scream? Is he not? This is huge. The next episode is going to be one of the probably most must-see events in anime, and I think you all need to be prepared for that because it is going to be a phenomenal episode. That being said, please put down in the comments below what you think. If you haven't already, drop a like on this video. Helps support the channel, helps get it out there. We're almost at 40k subs. We're about 1k away from 40k subs, so if we can get 1,000 subscribers as well. That would be pretty cool. And the best way to do that is to simply drop a like. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe if you don't want to, because there's no point in me doing that. Also, check out some of these videos you're seeing on screen right now. I think you'll definitely enjoy them. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next one. Bye.